What happens when we encounter a quadratic equation which cannot be factored? For example, x squared minus 4x minus 7 equals 0. Determine which two integers give a product of negative 7 and a difference of negative 4. Because 7 has only two factors, 7 and 1, and these two factors subtracted are 6 or negative 6 and not negative 4, like the middle term, the answer for this quadratic are not integers, but decimals. Finding which combination is correct would be a very lengthy and difficult task. To solve this quadratic, we turn to a process called completing the square, which involves making a perfect trinomial square out of the left side of the equation. Step 1. Move negative 7 to the right side of the equation, leaving an empty space where the negative 7 was. Step 2. Take 1/2 of the middle term, negative 4, and square it. Complete the trinomial square with this number by placing it into the empty space. 1/2 of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Because 4 was added to the left-hand side of the equation, then 4 must be added to the right-hand side. Step 3. Factor the left-hand side of the equation as a perfect trinomial square. X minus 2 times x minus 2 equals 11. Two of the same, we square them. X minus 2 squared equals 11. Step 4. Find the square root of both sides. X minus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 11, which is 3.317. Add 2 to both sides to move the negative 2 to the right. X has two values, 2 plus 3.317 and 2 minus 3.317, or x equals 5.317, x equals negative 1.317. Now, if the quadratic has a leading coefficient greater than 1, divide the whole equation by the leading coefficient to reduce the leading coefficient to 1. For example, solve 2x squared minus 8x minus 9 equals 0. Dividing the whole equation by 2, you get x squared minus 4x minus 4.5 equals 0. Move negative 4.5 to the right. Complete the square. Take 1/2 of the middle term, negative 4, and square it. Complete the trinomial square with this number by placing it into the empty space. 1/2 of negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Add also to the right-hand side. Combine. Factor. Find the square root. X minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 8.5, which is 2.915. Add 2 to both sides to move the negative 2 to the right. X has two values, 2 plus 2.915 and 2 minus 2.915, or x equals 4.915, x equals negative 0.915. Another example. Divide equation by 3. Move negative 11 over 3 to the right. Complete the square. 1/2 of 5 over 3 is 5 over 6. And 5 over 6 squared is 25 over 36. Add 25 over 36 to both sides of the equation. Add right-hand side. Factor left-hand side as a perfect trinomial square and find the square root of both sides. X plus 5 over 6, which is 0.83, equals plus or minus the square root of 157 over 36, which is 2.088. Subtract 0.83 from both sides to move 0.83 to the right. x has two values, negative 0.83 plus 2.088 and negative 0.83 minus 2.088, or x equals 1.255, x equals negative 2.921.